Right, thank you. First and foremost, permit me to wish all our Christians a Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year in advance. It's gladdening to have that opportunity to celebrate again. However, no thanks to Nigeria economy, because economy is so difficult that Nigerians find it difficult to celebrate as usual. You know, a lot of indices have shown that there's actually economic problem, from the issue of food prices, issue of transportation, inflation, and whatever. So all these things come together to make it pretty difficult for Nigerians. You agree with me that you can't compare last year to this year. Nigeria is becoming a year that you say last year was better. And I don't know where we are going to change from that prayer that lets, you know, the new year be at least a bit easier, you know, compared to the last year. But economically, I think these are recurring decimal that we could have even stopped even before the removal of fuel subsidy. A lot of things need to be checked. I ordinarily every December come with inflation because of its Russian water, but Nigerian government in particular can do a lot of things to tame such things. Because if you look at fruit prices, it's every year like this. Though this year is a bit beyond what we expect. However, there's what we call supply chain. You know, if supply chain is not well managed, it brings a lot of problem. But imagine if government has taken into account from October, started taming the challenge of supply chain. By now, it would have been a serious ease of celebrating Christmas. A good example, federal government came out and said they want to deduct 50% from transportation. As at Friday, you know, some company are just implementing. And how do they implement it? In fact, the implementation was so poor that they say you, passenger, should pay completely. After 24 hours, they will return the money, the 50% back to you. So it was not well conceptualized. It was done in a rush, and that's a problem. So this thing that they apply could have been applied to supply chain process earlier before now, and it would have made everything to stabilize.
Someone did say that instead of government, you know, coming out to say they're cutting cost of transportation by 50%, they should have just, you know, cut the fuel price by 50% within this period. Probably, I mean, let pay subsidies to some of the filling stations where drivers can actually go and get fuel.
That would have a better multiplier effect, because if you cut cost of buying fuel, perhaps you may say you don't want to even cut it for some private, maybe for public. That would have bring a lot of multiplier effect, because if I'm to pay 50,000 naira to East and they say I should pay 30,000 naira considering the amount they bought, that would have been direct intervention, because this one is definitely being abused. We don't want to be saying all those things, but we have seen different theory about how people abuse such processes. Perhaps you are only looking at organized commercial company, commercial transport company. What about non-organized one that are much more, because people, just because of the Christmas, they want to venture into the business. So I think the conceptualization of the idea was very poor, because if you want to bring subsidy, you want to relieve people, you don't relieve through another channel of problem. Look at what those transporters are saying, that you should pay full and they will return 50% at when, what time. And government also did not set a good parameter on time on how they are going to pay this, because some of them are still in doubt that if I embarked on deduction of 50%, how will I? And also, we should also be clear again with economics. Remember that every person wants immediate profit. So if you are saying that I should give deduction of 50%, and later you give me, what about the cost of me trading off that thing at that time? Because if you remember, before government will pay, it could be take a month, 2 months. That means they also go borrowing to cushion the effects on their part. So at what percentage interest are you also giving them? So these are another thing we need to look at.
I also heard the Railway Corporation also complaining that this issue happened with the last government. Up to now, they are still suffering the effect.
Exactly, and that's why I said it was conceptualized in a rush. Because when you want to do something, bring about the stakeholder, NURTW, railway sector, you know, transport unions, bring all of them together, discuss it holistically a month before, 2 months before, so they would have deciphered a better way of, because I can tell you, it does not all go well with transporters, these decisions. It was just like
even the commuters themselves.
Exactly, it's just like how do you call it? It's just like optics to show that government is doing well, and in reality, it does not have a good effect.
It doesn't really look good.
I must tell you.
I've had feelers from different kind of people who've told me how the whole thing has been
honestly
abused and even mismanaged as well. Is it that we're finding it difficult to get it right as a country? I mean, coming few days to Christmas to say you're cutting transportation without proper planning, probably no consultation, stakeholders were not even brought in. Everything, like you said, was done in a rush, and at the end of the day, I mean, the effects will not really be counted. But I can actually tell you that years down the line, they will tell you that they did this, they did that, and all of that.
We must say this. I think most these present government decisions are